Fantastic Four is already falling apart before it even hits theaters. Test screenings are leaking, fans are divided, and Marvel looks like it's making the same mistakes all over again. Now, if the Fantastic Four fails, it's not just another flop, it's a direct threat to the entire franchise itself. And over at Disney, the pressure is just as bad. The James Gunn Superman reboot is actually being hyped up as the last chance to fix everything. But if James Gunn and this Superman movie doesn't land and the Fantastic Four crashes, I mean, that's it. Audiences are done, and this summer, it all comes down to the Fantastic Four and James Gunn Superman. Now, no room for error, basically, okay? Now, when the Hollywood trade outlets start raising red flags before these movies even drop, I mean, you know that something's wrong. You see, Variety came out and basically said the quiet part out loud. Marvel and DC are staring down the barrel. The Fantastic Four reboot is already looking like a forced artsy mess, and the James Gunn Superman film is getting loaded down with side characters that barely anyone knows. And these basically are just structural failures is waiting to collapse the whole thing, okay? Now, the Fantastic Four test screening, as you all may have heard, reportedly bombed with audiences and stuff. I mean, it's practically, confirmed at this point, the leaks and everything. And even the leaks are all over the place. Some say that, the tone's off. Some say it's got promise. Others say that it's a disaster. I mean, that right there is a terrible sign, okay? Now, you really get a Fantastic Four movie to an audience a month before, unless you're scrambling to re-edit based on panic. And if they were confident in what they had, I mean, we wouldn't be hearing anything about test screenings and stuff to begin with, okay? And it's that simple. But meanwhile, delays keep stacking up for Marvel's next Avengers event, which is Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. Both push back entire projects linked off the calendar. So, what's the plan here? I mean, if their plan is, it sort of look like Marvel is just winging it, hoping, something sticks. And they think that the Fantastic Four is going to fix everything. I mean, it won't, because Marvel wasted years building toward a multiverse storyline that nobody actually cares about, And now the Fantastic Four is being treated like, a lifeline when it should have been a guaranteed home run, okay? Now, on the other hand, you also have the James Gunn movie, Superman movie, is in just as much danger, but from a different kind of failure. Not from test screenings, but instead from basically overreach. Now, Gunn stuffed this thing with obscure DC characters, hoping to reboot the brand with deep cut cameos and Easter eggs, even after he said this won't be a reboot. But general audiences aren't comic book historians. Now, if they don't recognize the characters, they won't care. And if they don't care, they won't show up. It doesn't matter, how clever Gunn thinks he is. You see, James Gunn Superman has to deliver on Superman, okay? Not metamorpho, not nothing terrific, okay? But here's what nobody in the trades wants to admit. Audiences are burnt out. You see, the MCU turned out flop after flop. Thunderbolts, as they would say and stuff, it didn't say that it didn't bomb because it was a bad movie. It actually bombed because of the simple fact that nobody trusted Marvel anymore. And if the Fantastic Four follows that same trend, it's over, okay? Now, Marvel isn't in a place where they can just afford creative risks. They needed a crowd-pleasing, faithful Fantastic Four movie to reset the table. But instead, they went all in on weird casting and their choices like the female Silver Surfer, and that's going to backfire. As a matter of fact, it's already backfiring. But let's be honest here. The Fantastic Four was always Marvel's backup plan after the X-Men. But now it's being shoved into the spotlight under pressure it was never built to carry. Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards. You see, that casting was a confusing one. You see, nobody asked for this. The Silver Surfer gender swap. That's just another example of, Marvel thinking headlines are more important than, the actual storytelling. Don't relaunch the Fantastic Four by simply, ignoring the fan base and rewriting core characters. You see, that's just asking for backlash right there in the first place. And then you also have the Russos stuck trying to go ahead and stitch together whatever's left of Marvel's mess with Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. And it's not even clear what those movies are anymore. You see, they bumped the multiverse the King storyline through some RDJ rumors, and now think the Saga will actually fix everything. Well, it won't. If you screw up the Fantastic Four, you're setting up those future films to fail. And if the James Gunn Superman movie flops too, then this entire genre gets tossed into the bin, basically. Okay? Now, the only reason Marvel even pulled off Guardians of the Galaxy back in the day was because they had momentum. Now they've got nothing. The Fantastic Four is not Guardians of the Galaxy. You can't sell this as a surprise hit when there's nothing fun or fresh about it. I mean, it's just more over-budgeted, comedian-made storytelling with a weak script and no sense of what made these characters matter in the first place, okay? And that's just me putting it nicely. Audiences want classic Marvel done right, not more subversions or reinterpretations. The Fantastic Four was supposed to be the course correction right there, but instead, it's just another hot mess. And don't think that DC's off the hook. You see, James Gunn Superman is their entire foundation right now. If that movie doesn't land, the entire DC slate collapses. And look at that slate. There's nothing there. A Batman and Robin film that nobody's asking for. A bunch of filler projects with D-listers. I mean, Gunn better hope that this Superman movie of his hits or will go down as a guy who killed the superhero genre, not save it. No pressure. Bullshit. Now I give James Gunn this. He picked the right actor. You see, David Cornswell looks like Superman. I mean, not like Harvey Cavill Superman, but he talks like Superman. He gets the character, and that matters. But if James Gunn Superman becomes, another cluttered ensemble piece and stuff, then none of that matters. And this can't be a movie where Superman is just another guy in the lineup. You see, he needs to be the reason people show up. He needs to be the hero again. Now, Gunn talks a big game about heart and legacy, but James Gunn Superman has to prove it, okay? And we gotta also mention, the budget too. You see, these studios are actually burning hundreds of millions of dollars on movies that don't need to cost that much. You see, I mean, trim it down. Focus on characters. Stop thinking, CGI explosions will make up for the weak stories of the book ideology of them. If the Fantastic Four movie is actually told a good, grounded story about a family of heroes dealing with powers and purpose, then it might have worked. But Marvel decided to go artsy, weird, and divisive. And now the Fantastic Four is getting roasted before it even hits theaters. Matter of fact, there's actually leaks out there right now about the story itself for the Fantastic Four as well as the post-credits scene. All right. And that really shocked me right there. But honestly, the only multiverse movie people liked was No Way Home. And even that was carried by nostalgia. You see, James Gunn Superman can't lean on nostalgia. You see, it has to stand on its own. And as far as the Fantastic Four is concerned, I mean, it is going to help build confidence in the genre if it ends up being another tone death experiment. Now, audiences want grounded, reliable, heroic storytelling again. Not endless alternate dimensions, you see, or gender swaps and awkward, tonal shifts and stuff. But right now, we're stuck in limbo. You see, James Gunn Superman could be a hit, and the Fantastic Four might actually surprise people, but the more the trades actually signal signs, the less the confidence people have. The studios used to pretend that everything was fine until now. into release. And now they're trying to go and get rid of the failure. That's just surrender right there. And if they really believe in these movies, then we wouldn't be hearing these in these different alarm bells. Now, superhero movies used to be an event, and now they feel like multiple chores and stuff. And Fantastic Four was supposed to reignite the excitement, and it's the opposite. All right, and the Superman movie by James Gunn has the weight of an entire genre on his back, and that's where they are now. You see one bad movie, and it's all gone. And no amount of corporate PR spin is going to fix that. Okay, now Fantastic Four gets one shot, and the James Gunn movie gets one shot. The outcome of these two movies will actually define, the next decade of Hollywood. Now, if Fantastic Four and Superman fail, it's going to be a long, quiet stretch for superhero cinema. If they somehow pull it off, maybe, just maybe, there's a future here. But that future is hanging by a thread, and it all starts now. So let me know your thoughts with this in the comments below. Be sure to smash that like button if you enjoyed it, share the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell for future uploads and notifications, and I'll see you on the next one. Until then, peace.